Okay, next up, we're going to move to Drake Maye's New England Patriots versus Justin Herbert and the Chargers. We see not much value here, at least at first glance. What do you see? Take me through this.
Pretty much nothing at all. Negative edge all the way through. 50% on the spread, plus 3.5, minus 3.5. 50% on the total, 46.5. Chargers get just about a 37% upset probability. That's pretty much fair odds, minus 0.8%. So, if you like the Chargers for an upset, you're not really losing any value there, but just nothing particularly, enticing from the model. So this is the game that, maybe Drake Maye needs to silence some of the haters, some of the doubters. I'm kind of in that camp. I wouldn't call myself a hater, speculative, maybe optimistically speculative of Drake Maye. But I'm malleable. I can be convinced, especially if he has a good game against a pretty good defense here. Team that has experience in the playoffs, well coached, just really battling mostly injuries and personnel issues all season. But if Drake Maye has a game that the kind of along the the way the model predicts, it's going to do pretty good in that regard. Almost 250 yards here. Pretty solid 33% probability to score for Hunter Henry, 32% for Stephon Diggs. Both the running backs at 40% or over. So lots of scoring opportunity for the Patriots. Chargers-wise, kind of drops down pretty quickly after Omarion Hampton. 44% leads the way for a touchdown. And then Quentin Johnston just under 30. Lad McConkey, 29%, and nobody higher than that. So it's certainly leaning in the Patriots' favor. And my doubts aside, with Drake Maye, I think I'd be more confident in that Patriots team just entering this game alone than the Chargers. For all the legitimate criticisms of their schedule, which is pretty much the crux of my, speculations about Drake Maye, though he has looked very good this year. They're constantly putting up points. They scored 80 points over their final two games. Just like hilarious looking at this contrast. And yes, it was against the Jets and the Dolphins. The Chargers scored 19 points, losing both of those games. Yes, it was the Texans and the Broncos, two very good defenses, but could have put themselves in a better seed down the line. Could have taken the second seed if they won both of those games. But one of those teams is rolling their way into the playoffs. The other feels like they're kind of limping in, even though they went on a pretty nice run in the middle of the season. Also losing to 3 of the 4 playoff games that playoff teams rather that they faced this year, pretty much all in the second half of the year too. So while the Chargers showed some pretty good upside, not like the offensive firepower that you would like, especially with how talented that team is. Really just coming down, I think, to the O-line mostly. Those injuries are a huge concern for me going into this game. Down their 2 best tackles for the season. One of their backups has a hamstring injury. So I don't know. Defensively, I think both of these teams are going to show up, and it's really just going to be a matter of who completes the drives. And I'm far more confident in the Patriots to do so. Money line 63%. I don't think they're going to lose this game. As far as the spread, it still wouldn't surprise me to see the Chargers kind of cover this one late, even if the Patriots are in control most of the game. Minus 2.5, I'd say give me the Patriots all day. Plus 3.5, I think I'd probably lean the Chargers in that regard.
Yeah, I want no part of this game. I really don't. I think you've heard me. I respect the Patriots. They're good. I do not believe this is going to be like Drake Maye coronation, win a Super Bowl year. The same thing for me here is that it's playoff Herbert. Justin Herbert has kind of been Drake Maye before Drake Maye was here, right? He was supposed to be the next up, crack into that Josh Allen tier. It never happened yet. I don't think it's necessarily his fault. This team has great weapons. So I would like to believe that, with Jim Harbaugh in front of him, this is going to be different this year. I've just been duped before with Justin Herbert, and I'm going to feel real stupid if I get duped again with Justin Herbert. So I think it's the right line. It's anything more than this, I think I would talk myself into LA. If I could get Patriots under a field goal at a good price, I would probably take that. So shout out to the odds makers for this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to keep me away from this other than a props perspective. Where should we be looking for props in this game?
Prop wise, there's no touchdown value really at all. A little bit on Herbert for passing, over 1.5 plus 120, but I don't believe yet any individual player touchdown value. One angle I do find the most interesting in this game is the backfield split. So it's kind of been back and forth this year. Ramondre was hurt and had some early season fumble and production issues. Opened the door for Trevion Henderson, who was like electric once he got that role. And then it started to level back out at the end of the year. Not for lack of production on Henderson's side, but Ramondre was scoring, doing all the scoring, and Henderson had all the volume. 6 touchdowns for Ramondre over the last 3 games. Huge game in the last day of the season. Henderson also had 2 touchdowns in that game. It was pretty nuts. But he went off. Like, he had 131 rushing yards on just 7 attempts in that game. So the maybe questions about Ramondre still having a little explosiveness were probably put to rest over his end of season stretch. And we got him pretty close in this game. 42% to score for Henderson, 40 for Ramondre, 52 yards for Henderson, 40 yards for Ramondre. Ramondre Stevenson probably more likely to get a little bit of receiving work, though we don't even have him at 20 yards or more. Just kind of an interesting angle for me. I don't really have a lean in it, just kind of talking through some of my thoughts on it. But Chargers red zone defense is really good, so I think it might be kind of hard for them to come across some rushing TDs in this game. So, wouldn't surprise me to see it funnel more into a Drake Maye passing style game, which is kind of interesting because pretty much all of our Patriots props correlate with that. Drake Maye over 29.5 passing attempts. Small role, but Austin Hooper over 1.5 receptions and 8.5 yards. Demario Douglas over 1.5 receptions. Henderson under 54.5 rushing yards. So I think a passing game is probably more likely from the Patriots in this, and the prop value is certainly aligned with that. So no major prop edges, I think, but a couple game scripts that the model seems to favor, particularly Patriots pass heavy game.
Given these game scripts, I saw Justin Herbert over passing attempts was also in there, I believe.
Yep.
Or some
completions and touchdowns. Yeah.
And touchdowns. So as I'm thinking through this, if you couldn't tell, my main point of skepticism with both this is I don't really want to back either Herbert or Maye to have a great playoff game. I don't think either's overly likely. Last time we saw Justin Herbert, he had 4 interceptions in a playoff game. I believe Drake Maye, this is his first playoff appearance. However, I'll tell you this from being a college football watcher, in big game Drake Maye was a concern in college. In both their rivalry games against NC State, he threw 3 combined interceptions, 1 in each game at least. And then in the conference championship, they played Clemson one year in the ACC championship game with a playoff spot on the line. 0 touchdowns, 2 picks from Drake Maye in that game. I think I'm going to run a little Justin Herbert, Drake Maye, 1+ interception each here and root for a pass-heavy script for both sides, maybe some nerves and just big game Herbert to come back, college big game Maye to come back. It's plus 244 at DraftKings, but I think that tails along with what the model might be thinking the script is here.
I love that, and we didn't really do our angles of the week that we did during the regular season for this, but had we done so, because when I was doing the research for the show, there were a ton of with the Purdy pick stuff. I was like, there's quite a few guys who I think are ready for interceptions here. So I actually put one in that is these 2 guys, Purdy, Bryce Young, and Aaron Rodgers. So, a little picks lotto for the weekend. So I love the single game here, Herbert and Maye for 1 each. You got good defenses. You got they were sacked a ton this year, 3rd and 4th most sacks in the league. So they're gonna feel some pressure probably, and that's all it takes for those demons to rear their head.
I love when you and I are on the same page telepathically without even knowing it. So that makes me feel even better about this.